What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Vic, the one and only, and you can't clone me.
And it's your boy Long.
And it's your boy Jamie the Great, and you tune in with
Daa Hangout, where we keep it real and we speak how we feel. And with that being said, let's introduce today's guest. You know what I'm saying? He's way in from behind the camera. Now he's in front of the camera. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? I'm Rico Hernandez. I'm the guy who works behind the scenes, and I'm excited to be here. This is the first time I actually step in front of the camera, so it's good to be here.
Oh, yeah, man. That's what's up. What's up?
this the brains to the hangout. That's how we get our episodes out and all that. So shout out to him.
The brainiac right there, man.
Right. All right, so we're going to go and get into the drip check. You know me, I got on the North Carolina blue, you know what I'm saying? And when you wear North Carolina, you got to throw on the J's, the MJ. You know what I'm saying? My twin.
Twin.
Then, yeah, I got on the rib jeans, rib shorts, whatever they is. But, yeah, we're going to see what the producer got on today.
Man, I keep it simple. I don't do it big too much. Marshalls all the way. And the Adidas and just shorts, low-cut tee. I have a low-cut shirt, and that's pretty much it, man.
You know me, I got on the Fashion Over jeans, you know, sponsor me. Some J's and the Bobby Boucher jersey.
Yeah, I heard all fictional characters was sorry. Most of them.
You don't believe this? Adam Sandler can hoop better than you.
Cap. So yeah,
Man,
we
I
gonna
seen him shoot the ball. I don't know about that.
y'all probably on the same level though. But let me go on here. You know, I got the pandas. You know, got the little what's he called? Sweats with the V-long shirt. You know, just something slight with the glasses on with the hat to the back. You know how we rocking, straight like that. So you know, we got our producer with us today. He's more than a producer. He's all the above, you know, and he gave us the opportunities to be here today. And shit, we just been, you know, rocking how we rocking. So we want to go ahead and get into it. So, you know, we know you had ran for city council.
Right.
So what was that process like? What made you want to get into it? You know?
Honestly, it was so city council started with just an idea of kind of like wanting to make a change, you know what I mean, for the city. I honestly really kind of feel like I'm more on the federal level as far as making those changes, making the laws, pushing the laws into place. Because you see a lot of things happening in politics that you're just like, man, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. And so you just kind of like, for me, it kind of felt like I was helpless in like making those or stopping those things from changing, you know, like your property tax is going up. You have a lot of other things changing that you're just like, yeah, I don't agree with that or that. And so I think the biggest way, the fastest way and the best way to do it is to throw your name in the game and just kind of work your way from there and try to make that change yourself. If you want to fix something, right, you got to do it yourself. So that's what made me get into it. I loved it, man. I love politics. I love politics and talking about government because it's just a broad topic, yeah.
What's one of the things that like when running, like you felt like you could have, like you can make the biggest impact on?
The budget, you know, spending. You know what I mean? Okay. Like whenever something's going through and you're just like, no, why would we spend money on that when we have this over here that we need to fix? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that's one of the biggest things that these politicians don't really pay attention to. That's kind of like, you know, it's almost like they have an unlimited spending bill, you know?
Right.
When in reality, it's like, it's you know, they force people to have budgets because like, hey, if you want to have a good credit score, you got to have a budget, right? But whenever it comes to city or government, it's like they spend like
they spend like crazy.
Like, no, there's no end. You know?
They use money that they don't even have.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or they'll raise the taxes and we'll get it.
You know what's funny about taxes though? I mean, when they can just print money, what's the point of paying back taxes? You know what I mean? Whenever they can just print it out of thin air. So that makes, I think it's just to give you the idea that you're actually contributing back to society when in reality it's like, you know, they can just print more. And so I think that's one of the things where, you know, your budget you have to have a budget, you know? And so in order to have a budget, you have to have the people to stop that. And that's where I want to come in and actually make a change. Now, city politics or city government is different from federal government, but you got to start somewhere, right?
You got to start from somewhere, okay.
That's dope.
So do you see yourself running for president one day?
It's funny, I do actually.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I mean, I think it's definitely something that I'd like to throw my hat in the game. The reason why I'm a little intimidated by it is because you see all these other good players like Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, he's a very articulate person and talking about politics, and he knows his stuff. But whenever they did like a poll on how he was doing compared to Trump and everybody else, he was really far behind. And I'm like, man, as good as he is, he doesn't even have the backing as everybody else. And so it is intimidating. You know what I mean?
Is that, you think, it's a popularity race?
Oh, it is.
Oh, for sure.
Politics, playing on politics.
It's big money also in politics.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem. We need to take money out of politics, because at that point,
Yep.
you're pushing whoever you want to push into position, you know?
That's true.
So you're going to push in whoever like favors what you want. So when you have a lot of money, you're going to push in whoever is not going to take your money. You know what I mean? So like you have all these big donors like Soros. I think that's just one of the main ones, where he can like put money on politicians where, hey, if you're not going to pass this law that's going to take more taxes out of me, then I want you to be in place. And I mean, you see puppets all the time. Like you see Biden, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't think he's really running much, but that's just my opinion. So, but there's a lot of money going behind the scenes on that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
My question is, so what got you behind the cameras? What was the motivation?
You know what's funny about that? I actually thought I'm more better in front of the camera. Like I like to be in front of the camera. I like to speak. I like to kind of like talk, right? And so, like I told you guys, the way I started this was with the idea of starting my own podcast. And so that never got off the ground. And so I decided, you know what, I can still use this to let other people shoot their podcast. And so that's where this all kind of got started. I eventually one day do want to start my own podcast, and I'm close to it, but we'll see when that happens. You know what I mean?
And I want to say, like, you're doing a great service, because like this is just more than a podcast. You're allowing people to be themselves. You're allowing people to open up to, like, you know what I'm saying, the community. It's like, you know, we're building communities out there. So, you know, you're doing a great service, you know what I'm saying, for the little people like us that's trying to, you know what I'm saying,
build our brand.
yeah, build our brand.
It's a good way to like kind of let people, you know, let their voice be heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially if they have a
sure.
good message, then everybody's going to want to hear that, right? So, I mean, this is a good platform for that.
That's what's up.
And your editing is, it'd be cool. I remember the first video I seen, I said, you did all that? He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay. It was cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Did you switch, like, you got a new camera or anything? Because now it looks like it's in 4K.
So these are 4K cameras, but we shoot in 180p.
Oh, 180p,
It only
okay.
shoots in 180p. And the reason being is because the majority of people don't look at podcasts or YouTube in 4K.
Okay.
Unless you have like a really visual pictures, you know, like they have those, like they're flying through the mountains and stuff. You want to see that in 4K, but like us talking, I think it's 180p is enough that's the standard for like podcasts and stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely.
So what about like somebody that's trying to get into, like, you know what I'm saying, producing, like, you know what I'm saying, having these cameras running? What's like the first step would you tell them to take?
Wow. Honestly, I just jumped right into it with like Googling what other people were doing.
Okay.
And so I just kind of found out what they were using. And then honestly, I have bought different cameras and I was like, no, these aren't good enough. So now I sell them and then bought more cameras. So where to begin is see what the big players are doing. Okay. Right. So like the ones I was using, I always tell people it's the ones that Joe Rogan used for whenever he started, you know, it was Canon G50s. And so, I mean, they might not be affordable like for everybody, but there's also alternatives to it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And also, I ain't gonna lie, man. I buy everything used. I let somebody else take the hit. Right. You know what I mean? Let somebody else take the hit.
For sure.
I'm like, hey, yo, it didn't work out for you. Don't worry, I'll get it off your hands.
I
you know?
get it off for you.
I'm a big advocate for Facebook Marketplace. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Like,
So you got to get your ebook. You got to get you know what I'm saying? You got to be the guru that, like, what's the people's, when you want? Yeah, the how-to. You got to be the how-to do it, you know? Because it's like, even when I started trying to look at, like, how to, like, run these, it's hard. There's nothing out there that gives me step by step.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
You know, what I need, you know, they start going here. It's like a lot of scatterbrained people out there that's just not, you know, giving a service that people need, you know?
And I'm all about that. I feel like this, like, setting this whole studio is like like to catapult someone else to like get their own stuff. You know what I mean? You know, once it starts generating money, I definitely don't expect people to stay, you know, using me. And I think that's the beauty of it. It's like you took part in helping them grow, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm all about, like, you know, if somebody asks me like, hey, you know, what do I need? I'm like, it's tough, man, because you have to worry about the sound. You have to worry about the way it looks. You have to worry about, numerous things. And so sitting here is different. It feels very different from being back there, where I'm like, okay, making sure everybody's microphone sounds good, and everybody's like, where the camera switches back and forth, like, we're focusing on who's speaking. So it's a lot of work. But it's fun to me. You know what I mean? I like the challenge. Every time you guys come back, I always say change something to make it better, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the way the picture comes out, or whether how loud the sound is. You know what I mean? It's always fun to figure it out.
That's what I told Jamie. I said, I don't know. To me, the quality look different. It's something about it. It just looks different now. Like it's like I don't know. I said I think he's shooting at 4K now. I think hey, we done moved up.
So I'm all about improving. You know what I mean? And that's the name of the game, or the part of a business that you want to do is like, how do you improve for everyone else? And so that's where it's at.
Okay, we're gonna sidestep to talk a little bit about parenting.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So how you feel about parenting when I'm gonna just get straight to it, like parenting when
co-parenting
okay,
with like the other part. So with the females, like parenting in a way that
it works for both parties.
For both parties, but the other party not really participating like they supposed to.
They're not working with you.
Right.
Oh man, it's unfortunate, honestly, because I feel like the court system is favoring towards the women, right? And so I think that's something we have to. A lot of people say, well, that's just the way it is. That's just, we have to accept it, right? But the reality is, like, maybe the law is actually flawed, and we have to fix the law in order to bring it back to equality, as opposed to, we're just gonna, favor one side without like really taking into account like the damage it's doing to the other party. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's like, I mean, I had this conversation earlier with someone. You're taking, finances from someone, you're taking the time, you're limiting the time the child has with their parent, and it's because the court decides to make it that way, right? There's a lot of states who are 50-50, you have Florida, I think Kentucky's also 50-50, where I think it was like, 183 days and 184 days with one or the other parent, right? Whereas Texas is not that way. It's, I think it's more of a 66% with one parent and the other, with 66% spending with the mom, right? With the mother. Honestly, I'm already questioning where they came up with all these things, just because I don't see how it benefits the child where we're just going to remove the dad from the picture so much, and then we're going to, let the mom, be the primary, right? I think the ideal place for a child to thrive in is going to be with 50-50, where it's like, you have both kind of like contributing equally to the child's growth. So that's where I'm at with that.
And I want to say, man, I respect the hell out of you, like for your patience, you know what I'm saying? Just you as a human, as a father, just hearing, I don't know everything or whatever, but the stories that you tell us or whatever, just being around you, like I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go on record saying that.
I appreciate that, man. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of prayer, a lot of, faith and hope. And the word we used earlier was steadfast, you know what I mean? Just remain steadfast in prayer and just let God do God, right?
Yep. So let God do God.
For sure.
He'll pull you through.
What about you guys? What's y'all's experience with, I know you're a new father again, right?
Again, you know what I'm saying?
How's that, man?
I'm dropping that dick off. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping it off.
Baby names at this point.
So we Kyrie and Kaysen. So Kyrie is the new addition to the family. And it's been an amazing experience. I just haven't been with him as much because I've been attending to Kaysen while the mother has Kyrie. I have to wake up in the morning, to go 6 o'clock in the morning to go to school. I make sure I get Kaysen ready. You know what I'm saying? Put my grease in my boy hair, put his shine on, brush his teeth, wash his face, put his clothes on, make sure he's swaggy when he go into the building.
Hey, it's time for you to get snipped home, boy.
But yeah, man, it's a process, but it's real cool. Summertime is around the corner, so I'm gonna spend much more time with Kyrie, and grow with him and everything. Let him lay on my chest a little bit more.
That's awesome.
Bond,
for sure. Yeah, bond, yeah.
Me, all I got is a dog, so I just...
His dog freaky, man. You go over there, he gonna try to hump on you.
He gonna try to get one off.
He gonna try to get one up off you.
No, for real.
I just take care of my dog, man.
That's cool, man. I think, before having kids, I think life is completely different, and it's life-changing when you have kids. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like your priorities change. Like before, man, it's like, I'd go out all the time and without care, right? it don't matter what I did. But now that I look back, it's like I don't want to do that just because I'm focused on like, I want to be the best version of myself for this child, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my point of view on it, like just even this past weekend, my oldest son, he had a track meet, and his mom sent me the video, and I was just like, bro, I was just like happy, like I was like seeing him, and then in uniform and stuff like that, just seeing him from when he was a baby to now, because he's 10 now, and he's in the AAU track, and I'm just like proud. I'm like, bruh, like it done came a long way, and like just little things like then my little son, he's 3, he's in soccer now, and so like seeing that, bro, like I never had no feeling that really just like that just when it's making me just smile, and now I'm one of them like. Now I'm like how my mama used to be like, hey, look at my son. My son, hey, he run track. Look,
You'll be all shy and stuff. Mama, stop doing that. Like,
yeah,
you know what
but now I'm
like,
doing it.
Yeah.
And I see how that make them feel good, because it's like I raised this person to become, because there's so many things you can get into as a kid. And when you see your kid doing something right, that just make you so proud.
And then like, bro, before this podcast, like earlier today, I was just sitting and just thinking like, bro, I don't never want my children to leave home.
Right.
I understand like in the black community, we push our kids off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you go out, you like at 18, we pushing you out there. But in other cultures, they living together still.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can teach him to be a man within. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to make the decision to go out or whatever, let him go instead of pushing him off. But I feel like, that's something in the future that I would want to do. Like, I just can't see my sons leaving. Like,
by 21, they got to get their...
I didn't think I can love more than I love now. Like, it's like a new, like, love.
But see, me, I think with that, it got to come... It's going to be like a thin line, because you can't pacify them all this time. Right. They got to kind of give them...
But it comes with that balance. It comes with that balance of being a father, being a friend, and just being kind of like, you know what I'm saying, just pushing them out there. Like, I don't want to just baby him like, oh, come and suck my titty. You know what I'm saying? But I want to definitely push him out there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But see, when I grew up, it wasn't no balance. It wasn't no, it ain't no friend. I'm the parent. So,
right.
I mean, and I guess it's different then. But my dad was also like a old school mindset kind of guy. So, tough love, we ain't do all the lovey-dovey stuff. So, I mean, I think it was good for me because it probably gave me structure that I didn't have. But now in my older years, I be wanting some affection. When I be telling my old lady, I want you to hold me sometimes.
I told him I loved him like probably like a couple of months ago. Oh, you gonna? He frowned on her like, bro, I love my people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think the way you're saying you were raised is it's an old school way of being raised where it was more of tough love. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think there should be a good balance between tough love and showing like you love your sons. You know what I mean? Right. I think especially with boys, they take a lot from their fathers. You know what I mean? So they play a big role in raising those kids, you know what I mean? And so, I mean, you want to put them in the right direction from the beginning. Like you were saying earlier, you don't ever want them to leave home, right? But I get what you're saying. You want them to leave home, but you don't want them to like leave you. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I think that's where raising them comes in. The important part of raising them is like where they still remember who brought them up, and so forth. But you want them to be contributing members of society. You don't want to be delinquent and whatever.
And I just don't want to just like, just if you need, this is always home. Go out and do what you do or whatever.
Right.
Stand on your principles, stand on your morals, and know who you are. Carry this last name. You're going to make mistakes in life, but shit, just come back to reality. And I hope that I instill them in my kids.
Yeah, 100%.
The wisdom and everything.
So I got a question. Okay, so how is it? Because I know we can be late and be dragged. How is it working with us?
It's good, man. I mean, you guys are one of my more consistent customers. You know what I mean, y'all late like a lot. Y'all go over quite a bit, and I'm like, dude, like,
look at our skin color. Nah.
But I think it's since y'all are my more loyal customers, I respect that. You know what I mean? There's a certain level of respect where I'm like, you know what? Okay, you know, I know they're coming back, so I'm not gonna, you know, push the limit too much. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I mean, I sometimes I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna sit down first so y'all can kind of, you know, follow the lead and get going. But again, y'all are my most loyal customers, and I appreciate that. So,
and we're gonna continue to be loyal. You know what I'm saying? We like I said, like when I found you on the marketplace and I sent it to Jamie, we fell in love instantly. We was like, this is home. This is where we need to be. You know, and shit, we made it happen. I reached out to you. Yeah. You know, and
I still remember the first episode, man. It was the white chairs. It was like, man, I look back, I'm like, dang, it looks like I feel so long ago, you know. But
it feels totally different.
You want to know something that's funny? You might not know this. Well, you wouldn't know this. But I was calling Jamie. I was like, man, I don't know if this is real or not. Let me get my gun. So I came up here with the strap on me. I was just like, man, he might be crazy. He might try to kill me.
Nah, I feel like a lot of people think that way, you know, because it's like, you know, it's Facebook Marketplace, you know what I mean? It's strangers. But nah, it's all real, man. So.
Yeah, when he came in, he's like, and then when he seen, he said, "Yeah, nah, he's solid, man." He said, "Man, he broke everything down to me, showed me everything."
Yeah, I remember that time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, what these years to come? What does that look like? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna run again? Because if you run it again, I want to be behind you full percent. I want to get all my friends. We want to go out. We want to do whatever we can because from what you were saying, you kind of want the same thing that I want. You want justice. Sure. You want to better the system.
Yeah, 100%. Because I feel like the people that keep continuously run over and over again are the people that other people want in place. You know what I mean? Right. It's like it's a circle of friends that they're like, hey, you know, my term limits are up, so I got somebody else who's just as good. Let's go ahead and push them, right? And so that's where I come in. It's like I'm kind of the underdog in this situation, you know. And of course, once you get your name heard, you know, people are going to start contributing more money, right? Which is good because then you can get your name out there even more. But yeah, man, I'm definitely going to continue to push this. There's narratives that I want, like, you know, that I think are more important than what's going on like everywhere else, right? And my biggest one was the expansion of 45 right here. They're going to move it from one side of the city to the other, or one side of downtown to the other. And I'm like, why? You know, we don't need that. You know, we have more important things like homelessness going on that we can like fix, right? So, but it really just, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that it's kind of like we're just touching the surface of what goes on, you know?
And could you expand on a little bit what you was telling me earlier about, like, you know, what does the people sending in money, like what does that help for y'all to, like, you know what I'm saying, go and, you know, run and to be in this area and this like location? Right.
So you mean when people donate money to your campaign?
Donate.
I mean, that is just helps you. I mean, so people running like brand new to the whole like political scene, they're running off of their own time. You know what I mean? They're not using they're using their own time essentially. And that's another reason why a lot of people don't want to run, is because like they have to take time out of their lives, out of their families, to go campaign and go talk to people. So what this does, donating to their campaign, it helps with, you know, social media ads. It helps with placing. You see all these like signs from like, oh, you know, re-elect or elect, you know, so and so for district this or mayor, you know, and so what it helps, especially with the smaller people who are getting into it, it actually puts them on a level playing field where they can actually start to compete with these big players, like Mayor Whitmire, the new mayor for Houston. Okay, I think he spent like $12 million on campaigning to win mayor for the city. You know, and I mean, who has $12 million if they're, especially at our level? You know what I mean? Right. To like spend that much money, how can you compete with that? And so. This is why a lot of people say, you know, contribute money to, if you're not going to fight for a change, at least help someone else fight for the same changes you want, you know? Right. And then that's where I feel like a lot of young people need to get into politics, because a lot of things are changing, and you can't complain if you didn't help, you know, move the needle in the direction you wanted it to change. You know what I mean? This is why we're ending up with things that we don't like. You know, in government, where, you know, you have all these laws being pushed, or a lot of things being changed, and you're like, I didn't want that. Well, did you vote for the person, or did you help the person you wanted to, who had the same ideas as you? And if you didn't, well, then you can't complain about that, you know?
And I feel like a lot of the mindset is bro, I'm just one vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I hear that a lot, and it's a lot of millennials are the biggest group that doesn't vote, and so, it's like this. You have a lot of people that are very old with the old mindset, changing the things that they want to change the way it is, and then you have all the young people who are like, man, I don't want that. Well, like, what did you do to help that?
Right.
And I honestly feel like a lot of younger people need to get into politics, get into making changes, because they don't want to. They just don't. You know what I mean? I think it's mainly because they feel helpless. Because it's just like, what is my vote going to do, or what is my voice going to do? And so that's the problem.
So how could you target them?
How do you target them? I think social media is where it's at. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media is where it's at because everybody likes to watch social media. Everybody has a mobile phone, and then just meeting people who have followers, for example. You know what I mean? So, man, how do you get younger generations to want to vote? I don't know.
I think I know.
What's that?
Like you said, social media. So like, different podcasts. Like we watch the $1 Million Worth of Game. They have entrepreneurs coming on all the time. You might have to pay a fee, but that's part of the budget.
Right.
Go on there and tell the people, what are you running for?
Right.
I think that could possibly be a way because that's OPA, other people audience.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. If they have a big following, then that definitely helps you out a lot and get exposure. And so that's important.
But that still costs funds. You got to have money to.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
I have a question.
What's up?
What's like the one thing you saw and you was like, man, I got to get into this. I got to help change this. Like, what's the one thing that made you like, man, that's the straw that broke the camel's back that I got to run. I got to do something.
Probably becoming or looking at the father's rights. That's one of the biggest changes. Because I saw how I felt, and I think we talked about this before. Walking into the court system is like you walk in there feeling like you're losing from the get-go. You know what I mean? And so it was like, now I did run for city council, but I mean, I think my goal was to get into the federal level, like to make those laws, change those laws, or even like at the House of Representatives for Texas, to push those laws to like help fathers out or equalize, bring the pendulum back to equality when it comes to being fathers or being fathers. And that's what made me get into it. And I want to make that change to where we all feel like we're going in there, we're not losing from the get-go. You know what I mean?
That's dope. What's one thing that that we don't know about you that you do outside of, city council and behind the cameras and things like that you love doing?
That I love doing? Man, honestly, I don't feel like I have any other hobbies outside of this. I feel like, so I'm a brand new father, right? 8 months in, and I think I focus more on that. Like that kind of keeps me going. So anything that I do is just to try to, paint my image to be like the best version for her. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really feel like I have any hobbies outside of this besides like, working on equipment, making it better. And I do write papers, like kind of papers for podcast topics that I like to discuss.
Oh.
And so I do a little bit of research, get my sources and make sure. So whenever the time comes where I do make these episodes, I know what I'm going to talk about, and people can't come back like, oh, you just made that up. And I'm like, nope, it says it right here. The study has been done. Research is there,
Yeah.
So that's one thing I do enjoy doing behind the scenes.
Because I just added one new hobby to my life. Well, I ain't added this yet because I ain't learned how to do it, but cooking. Like I'm trying to learn.
Cooking, okay.
Man, this man don't want. I've been trying to teach this man since 2015 the little knowledge that I have. Season it a little bit.
He only make one meal though.
Bro, I make a couple meals.
Yeah.
I make a couple meals,
You
but
can't cook, boy.
I could cook.
I'm a chef. I'm a chef.
Listen, him and his wife called me probably like a year or two ago. What type of seasoning you put on your chicken, Vic?
No, baked
call
chicken,
Cap.
green beans, and mashed potatoes. That's his go-to.
Broccoli.
I'm a chef.
He can cook for sure, but I'm just
Barbecue.
saying this man over here,
Nah,
bro.
I can't
You
cook,
can tell him, you can give him the directions, and you can simplify him and everything, and it's about what he wants to do.
Jamie
He don't wanna do it.
Sandwiches, so.
He ain't no
Bologna sandwiches. He throw a little syrup on there.
I'm Uber eating if I gotta eat spam. Them spam days over with.
He gonna look at his stomach and say, "Man, I gotta stop eating after 9 o'clock."
No, I do, man. I'm getting the gut, but I'm getting the air fryer. See, that's gonna change.
There you go, game changer. Yeah.
That's the game changer there. Then I'm gonna be.
You're married though?
Yeah.
Oh man, do speak on that. Like
my wife, she was on the podcast.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. So,
Ask him a question. I want to speak on it.
Yeah. I mean, kids in y'all's future or no?
Yeah, but we're not in a rush.
Right.
Like,
Of course.
We enjoying us. We ain't in a rush. Maybe in the next 5 to 6 years.
Right. Okay.
We ain't in a rush. As far as being married, it's cool, man.
You 51 now, 6 years. You gonna be 60.
You gonna be 50.
But I will say, what I've learned though,
Yeah.
it's just like me and her. We've been together for a long time, so you guys know people change. Her love language is different than what it was when I first met her, and I'm even different than what I was. So, and then coming from a place where I didn't communicate and from the beginning, but now I'm more open and communicating. So
it kind of may force you out of that. Yeah.
growing, and
That's dope. Can we
More
clap it up for that, dog? I like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's dope. That's growth, man. That's what's
shout
up
out
there.
Jamil.
I like that.
That's
I'm about to
cool,
go to the grocery store. I'm gonna go cook. I get home some salmon.
Salmon.
That sounds
what's up,
good
yeah.
too, man. Because I'm trying to eat health. It's just hard, dog.
Hell yeah. I always meal prep. I have to meal prep because I just don't feel like I can cook every day, or you know what I mean.
I meal prep on Sunday, so when I leave here, that's what I gotta do.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up.
I do want to. If I was running for something, I want to bring that up. Why is it so? It costs so cheap to eat bad, but it costs so much to eat healthy.
Yeah, I think food is manufactured to be quick. You know what I mean? Like, let's grow it fast so we can push it out, right?
McDonald's fucked the game
so
up.
that doesn't make it healthy. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That doesn't make it healthy at all. So it's
And then
easy
even
to-
when you cook at home, like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta make sure you're eating what you need to eat, because if you're eating some chicken that has all that GMO in it, I mean, it's
Right, and,
FDA.
I think that's
all the ingredients.
they force they the way they do it is like they force these chickens to grow fast so they can like push them out, and so that's not healthy. You know, I don't know we'll see what happens in the next few years, how it affects us. So
what would you be able to do if you got into it? Is there anything you can do?
One person can't do much. I think it's this is why we have the parties. You know what I mean? Republican Party, Libertarians, and you have, so they can all make changes together. You know what I mean? So one person can kind of bring up the topic, but everything has to be changed as a group. You know what I mean? And so that's what's hard to do, especially whenever you have two like main parties, Republicans, Democrats. I mean, they're kind of fixed in their ways, and but change can be done from within. You know what I mean? And so that's where you infiltrate it in a good way, and then you kind of make that change from the inside. And so, but I feel like it's not heading in a good direction, because business is all about the bottom dollar. You know what I mean? Yep. And so there's not about like, well, it's how healthy can we make these people, or how healthy can we push it. I think it's been pushed to the limit where it's barely healthy. You know what I mean? But it's good enough for them to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
so
it's making me money, because they're not gonna, not make their money. So it's kind of hard.
That's crazy.
But my thing is, like, at least put like something, like even these fast food places, at least give us a healthy menu choice on y'all menu.
Jamie, all you eat is fries. So
No,
But
I'm
look-
eating a burger with them fries.
But look,
now.
there you go. Do they really care about you?
No, they don't
Yeah.
care about
They
you.
don't
but
care
I'm
about
saying,
you. You
but
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
at least put something healthy.
Nah,
on there.
you got to do it
Everything
yourself.
can't
Like he
be
said, mentioned
fried.
earlier, everything you have to do it yourself.
start a garden, bro. Make like your plants and stuff.
tomatoes
Man, I
and
live
stuff.
in
Yeah.
an apartment. I start a garden. They gonna kick my ass out.
Get the little box. You get the little box. I just watched Shark Tank do.
Nah, I
something
might
like
start doing Healthy Fresh or whatever that shit called.
Hello Fresh.
Hello Fresh, where they deliver it to you.
Oh, it costs money though, man.
Yeah.
No,
they
it
do.
do.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm gonna probably do something different though, cause the way I'm eating now, it ain't gonna work, cause I gotta be fine and this ain't working.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
But you ate 2 McDoubles, large fry.
Before you got here,
I ate
I
snooze,
ain't even
man,
eat.
and everybody else didn't finish their food. I was the only one, so that just let me know that
You're fat.
I was
Big
being
draws.
fat.
Another thing is like exercising. I think that's important. As you get older, you kind of like stop exercising because everything gets in the way.
Right.
I think you got to prioritize making an effort to stay fit.
Going.
Stay fit. Or else you just kind of lose your body. You know what I mean? You only have one. You better take care of it. You know?
You're right.
This your vessel.
They about to plant our chip in another.
That's right.
I'm about to put my shit in a robot. I'm about to turn it into a robot.
Yeah, you just flip it on like, all right.
Flip it on, turn it into a robot.
But nah, man, we want to thank you for coming, you know what I'm saying, and being on this episode.
Appreciate
it. Really
it.
means a lot to us.
Anything you want to promote?
Follow me on Instagram, rigo.your.amigo. So that's where I'm at. And eventually I'll start another page and I'll promote that once I get a podcast going. But for now, y'all can follow me there. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate what you guys do.
For sure.
I like working with you guys. So, let's keep going. So
And let's be on time.
Who's the funniest side of us?
Oh man,
you the funniest looking.
He's funny looking.
He cracks a lot of jokes on both you guys. So
Nah, Jamie be you understand? He be killing me every single day. So it's I have to get my boy back, man.
Nah, I'll be letting you make it, dog.
It's Ren and Stimpy right here, man.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Man, get your pinky in the brain.
For real. But now, with that being said, we're gonna go and wrap it up. We appreciate him. Like I said, he the man behind the camera. He the reason why all this keep going. So we're gonna try to keep it going. Hopefully, we get to 50 episodes.
Yeah.
Nah.
And then get y'all's million followers. So
By that time,
subscribe.
probably be be in gear from Nike or somewhere, be sponsored, money,
That's what's up.
all kinds of stuff. So
For sure. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And that's the Hangout. We out. Peace.
Later.
peace.